What's good, YouTube family? It's your boy IPA. We back with another video, another story time. Trust me, I'm gonna come with some interviews, so don't think that shit just stopped. But we got some shit in the works, and I'm trying to ramp that up. But in the meantime, I'm still get y'all some content, still get y'all some shit to laugh to, some shit to watch. You know, so this story is something that a homie had reminded me of when I was just at my boy's birthday party over the past weekend and shit. And I feel like this is something that y'all can get a decent laugh out of. I know me and him was cracking up about the shit. So shit, if you like, man, like, share, subscribe, drop down in the comments, talk about what you heard, talk about some shit, man. It's your boy IPA. Let's get into it. To get into the story, I'm always gonna change the names of anybody that's involved with this shit. But the girl's name, for the sake of the story, her name's Lauren. Me and Lauren, we were in tune for a long time, on and off type shit. You know, like, man, I done known this girl since I was 12 years old type shit. So, you know, as you go through school and you find that one person that you really link with and shit, and it may be toxic, but it be fun, you know? So this is one of them. Me and this girl, Lauren, we ended up linking up and going out to this party in a gated community around the area. And in this area, it's a lot of gated communities and shit, like, just so anybody knows, like, anybody that's from here, they know, like, that's where all the motion was at, especially when we were in high school and shit. So we ended up getting out to this party. Shit busting as usual. Everybody just turning the fuck up. You got motherfuckers smoking, you got motherfuckers drinking, motherfuckers throwing up, just the whole nine. You know, it's a high school party. So if you haven't experienced that shit, sorry about you. If you too old for that shit, man, like, cause that's where the shit is at, man. But that being said, so me and Lauren, we always had like an on and off relationship, like I had said before. So at this party, I believe we were on, like, we weren't dating, but we were definitely like talking on like a regular basis and shit. So me and her, we link up and, you know, like, we having fun, taking shots and shit, whatever. And I don't know if she ended up leaving or like what ended up happening, but we kind of split off and went our separate ways and shit. I was talking with a couple of the homies and like a few shorties and shit in this other room. She was somewhere else in the house, or she might have just like left and came back or some shit. But needless to say, there was this other girl that was at the party. Her name's Maddie. Now, Maddie was bad, and me and her didn't have no type of history or nothing like that. And I didn't even think she was feeling the kid, you know what I'm saying? But come on now, who ain't feeling the kid? It's me, for real. But nah, so me and her, we just kind of like, we chopping it up in this person's room, and progressively as we're talking, like, everyone's talking amongst each other, but everyone's kind of going off and leaving out of the room and shit. So I'm gonna say like probably 15 minutes into the conversation, it ends up just being us in the room. So I'm thinking like, damn, I ain't trying to make it awkward, because really I had no intentions. So I get up and I'm getting out ready to walk out the room. Shorty grabbed my hand. Hey, all the action happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, I had to do my thing, and I had to get back out to the function because niggas was looking for me and shit. So, you know, we make that happen. She ended up, you know, staying off in the room. I think she ended up getting herself cleaned up and shit, and then I just cut out back into the function and, you know, get to drinking and get to turning up with the homies and shit again. So as we're out in the function, out in the lobby and shit, or not the lobby, but out in the living room, it's starting to get later in the night. By this point, it's probably like 2:30, 3 in the morning. Like, it's still people up, but like, it's still like, you know, everybody's kind of just like getting ready to either head out or they just crashing on the couch type shit. So I go up in this house, mind you, like I said, it's a big ass crib. So I go in and trying to find rooms and shit, found this empty ass room. Just so happens, who's on my tail? Lauren. So she ends up basically asking me if I wanted to sleep together and shit. And I'm like, shit, I mean, me at 16, nigga, you know, I had to run it back. I had to do the 2 times shit. I had to, hey, back to back like Drake, you mean. But so we end up hooking up, and the very next day, and I gotta say this is probably one of my bigger dickhead moments in my life, because honestly, I don't know what possessed me to do this shit. But earlier that night, me, Maddie, and Lauren, we all end up taking a picture together in the function type shit. But this is before any of us ended up actually hooking up. So we snapped the pic. I got the shit on my phone. I don't know what made me do this shit. I want to say it's the homies so bad, but I know that I'm also just be on some fried shit. Anyways, I post this motherfucking picture on my story, bro, of all three of us, and I'm like, whoever said three's a crowd. Them shorties got to talking. They ended up drawing the conclusion that I hit them both in one night, man. I had to go 2 for 2. So they was shitty. It wasn't it. Truth be told, in the moment, I didn't think that they were as mad as they were, but let me tell you. This Lauren, she got me back in the worst way. The worst way. The nigga, I can't even, truth be told, I can't even be mad at her because of the reasoning why she got me back. I was on some up shit. At the same time, though, she definitely made sure to get a nigga back. So, fast forward about, I want to say about 5-6 months later, because when that situation happened with me hitting both in the same night, that shit was in the winter, and now this is in the summertime. So one of my boys, me and Lauren, we ended up like kind of gradually getting back into like good terms and shit, and we were actually dating at this point. So, nigga. They end up one of my friends from like around this area, his family has a beach house. They live on like the beach side and shit. So nice ass cribs, really nice ass area around here. So he ends up inviting me and a couple of the homies and shit to a function. So I'm like, I bet I'm gonna bring my shorty with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a natural thing to do, wouldn't you think? So we end up prior to us getting in the whip and heading that way, I ended up actually picking up a couple tabs of Sid. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a third person in this part of the story that's very, very important. It's I'll call her April. April comes to pick me and Lauren up. By this point, I already had a Sid, so I started distributing. We all popped our shit. So by the time we pull up to the function, it's starting to get in motion and we starting to feel it, So get to the party. I see all my homeboys and shit. They pull up and shit. Niggas is talking about trying to go in on a KD. They trying to smoke. I want to say about the kid comes back with the bud about 45 minutes later, because we all went into the garage to smoke because we couldn't smoke in the house and shit. So we chief out there, get back into the party. I walk back in and I see April. She's walking around and shit, like looking for Lauren. So I'm like, yo, it's good. And she's like, hey, like, have you seen Lauren? Like, I haven't seen her anywhere, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm like, nah, shit, let's go look for her. So, like I said, this is a big ass house. Like, this is like probably one of the bigger cribs I've been in, and especially probably the biggest crib that I've partied in type shit. So we get to walking around in this house and shit, just open up doors and shit, just kind of like, we don't know the layout of the crib, so we just trying to look everywhere because she could be just ducked off somewhere, just throwing up in a bathroom or some shit. So as we're walking down like the hallway, it's like, I want to say it's probably about 5 doors in this hallway, and 3 on this side, 2 on this side. So we checking. And then as we're getting closer, my heart starts beating. Like, I'm starting to get this really nervous feeling, and I'm not understanding why. So as we get to the last door on the right, man, I'll never forget this shit. I will never forget this shit. I open this door, and I had my flashlight on. So when I open this door, it's just a panel of like a wall full of mirrors and shit. And all I'm seeing is the reflection of the light when I open it. So I have to open it a little more to actually see what's in the room. Nigga, all I see, Lauren getting her back broke by my homie that invited us to the fucking function, nigga. I couldn't believe it. I was hurt like a motherfucker, but at the same time, I was more confused than anything, because I'm like, why were we even anything if you didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't fuck with me like that. It was just kind of crazy to me. Like, I just couldn't understand it. I left out. As soon as I seen that shit, I turned around, laughed, and then April was asking me what was going on. So I just walked past her. I'm just like, go see for yourself. She go in there, see what's happening. She started, and mind you, Lauren seen me as I came in there. So she's trying to call my name as this dude is blowing her back out. And I'm just like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I leave out the door, go to the beach. Nobody knew what happened to me, where I went or anything, because it just all happened so fast and shit. So I'm going to the beach to collect my thoughts and shit. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga shed a couple tears and shit. Anybody has taken psychedelics before, you know how impressionable your emotions can be and how some shit can completely throw your entire vibe off. So I'm surprised that I didn't even actually lose my fucking mind in this situation. Like, I've seen niggas go off the deep end for way less. I end up gathering myself and walking back into the function. And when I walk back in, everybody's sitting in the foyer talking about the situation, trying to look for me and wondering where I went. So when I walk in, they're like, oh shit, like, oh shit, like, oh shit, like, oh shit, like, I'm good. Like, I know, bruh. I know, nigga, this shit is fucked up. So we end up, so I guess we end up having an intervention with this girl, Lauren, man. And I'm sitting there asking her, like, yo, like, what the fuck was going through your head? Like, it ain't even the fact that you fucked this nigga. You could have fucked him whenever you wanted. But why would you do it in this party when we're all there and shit? And this is when she tells me, well, you fucked me and you fucked Maddie at the same party, blah blah blah. Like that like that's what you get. And I'm like, girl, like, why the would you even date me if you felt this way? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you felt like I did you wrong, then what's the point of us even, like, being an item? Like, you just seem goofy. At the end of the day, it didn't amount to shit because, honestly, we both ended up, like, agreeing that it's probably best that we didn't that we didn't fuck with each other or talk to each other in those terms anymore. And that's really, like, the moral of this story. Some people are better off just staying friends, bro. I promise you, you would be better off just wondering what it would be like to be with that person as opposed to be with that person and then see all the crazy shit about that person, you know. Very, very crazy, very toxic situation. I'm happy me and her were able to still come together. We could still sit up and laugh about the shit now, you know what I'm saying? But that's another one of my stories, some shit that happened that I can never forget. That shit is ingrained in my memory. Become a part of the IPA family, man. Become a part of the IPA family. It's all love, it's all vibes over here. That being said, it's your boy Mr. IPA. You know I'm coming with that shit. Hey, you heard it here first.